breaking news coming in is that the U.S. Embassy in Kyiv has been shut down, has been closed today over concerns of a potential significant air attack. Now, this was informed by the Department of State Consular Affairs of America, and U.S. Embassy now shutting down in Kyiv after fears of a possible attack. Remember, viewers, this is, of course, a volatile moment in the ongoing war between Ukraine and Russia. The embassy statement reads that the U.S. Embassy recommends U.S. citizens be prepared to immediately shelter in the event of an air alert is announced. My colleague Kurtat joins us live on the broadcast from the newsroom. Kurtat, of course, it's a very volatile situation between Ukraine and Russia. And now that the U.S. Embassy in Kyiv has shut down, what do we expect? Just give us a context, what has been happening, the situation right now, and what can we expect next?
It is very important for us to understand the context of what is happening, Rakshita. Just yesterday, the Ukrainian war completed 1,000 days of combat. And we know that Russian President Vladimir Putin has officially now signed the new updated nuclear doctrine of Russia. Now, why these developments have come so rapidly in rapid succession? The main reason is the American-made ATACMS missiles that Ukraine has been using now to directly target Russia and Russian territory. Now, American ammunition has been used by the Ukrainian war for quite some time now. But for the first time ever, President Biden just earlier this week gave permission to Ukraine to use the ATACMS surface-to-surface missiles for the first time on Russian territory. Now, these missiles are capable of targeting targets in the range of about 300 kilometers. And once the Russian were targeted by American-made missiles used by Ukrainians, Putin was forced to update his nuclear doctrine. What does the new nuclear doctrine say? The nuclear doctrine states that if any state which is backed by a nuclear power launches any cruise missile on Russian territory, then that will be considered significant enough for nuclear retaliation. This also includes strikes from drones and aircrafts. At the same time, any attack by any single member state of a coalition will be also considered as a joint attack by the entire coalition. What does this mean? This means that if Ukraine uses American-made missiles to strike Russia, Russia can consider it as an attack by the Americans as well. At the same time, because America is part of NATO, it can by extension be considered as a direct attack by NATO. These new nuclear doctrines have put the threshold of nuclear retaliation on Russia at an all-time low. And when the second largest nuclear power of the planet loosens its nuclear doctrine, it's a matter of grave concern, which is clearly why in the immediate aftermath of the missile strikes that happened on Tuesday, now that the Americans have come out and put out an advisory, let me read out what exactly is the statement. The U.S. Department of State and Consular Affairs has said that out of abundance of caution, the embassy will be closed and embassy employees are being instructed to take shelter in place. Now, the American warning has to be taken very seriously right now, Rakshita. Remember, when the original conflict started about 2 years ago, it was the Americans first who gave the warning for a possible impending Russian invasion of Ukraine, and weeks later, they were found to be true. We do not know what sort of retaliation will Russia seek at the moment, but all we know for certain is that these developments have come just 24 hours after the nuclear doctrine of Russia was updated.